Hey guys, and welcome to the show. This is True Crypto. My name's CJ, and we have a very special guest on the show with us today. We got Jay from CoinBene. Jay, would you say hi, please?
Hi guys, nice to see you here.
All right, and then we have Ricky, our software engineer of the day.
Hi everyone.
Vicky.
All right, so guys, we're gonna talk to Jay here for a little bit. He's from CoinBene or Bene, however you want to say it. We did a video on this about a week ago, and everyone saw the big influx of billions of dollars, which looked like going into CoinMarketCap.com. But Jay's here to clear that up. He did say, however, it was an API bug. For those of you that don't know, API application interface. So the code was actually incorrect. They had to resubmit, pull their exchange off the site, and caused a lot of panic for a minute there. Jay, you scared us.
Yes. Actually, the first time I saw the comment written first, we were all very delighted, but a little bit nervous because maybe I think is there any people who is play a trick on us and put we on the top of the words, and actually I maybe there's some calculation and maybe the CoinMarketCap got wrong data from our API. So the trade amount or price of our I can't remember, it's a hero coin is incorrect. What was incorrect? So the trade volume or trade amount was too big that day, and actually we sent another request to get in touch with market cap, and then I think they corrected the method of calculation, and now I think we are ranking the 80th of the world, but hopefully we have a big, how to say that, we have confidence to get into top 20 maybe later this year.
Very nice, very nice. So I'm just gonna go over how me and Jay actually met. So surprisingly enough, after I was done with that live stream about CoinBene and the influx that they had, I did a little more research on my own because I wasn't satisfied with just what I saw. So I actually found their Twitter, and then I found their Telegram. So their Telegram, you just join in there, and all of a sudden I see Jay, and there he is. He's answering all these questions. He's being really attentive to the users, and I just messaged Jay a few times back and forth, and he was very cooperative. He agreed to do this interview. So Jay, I gotta say thank you before we continue.
A pleasure.
So Jay, just to start off, so tell us how you joined the cryptoverse. Like, how did you get involved with cryptocurrency? Where did you start?
Yeah, actually, I used to and now working as a product manager in IT companies. And one day I got a call from a headhunter, and he asked me whether I have any interest to see another opportunity. And I was invited to have an interview in OKCoin. And at that time, OKCoin was the largest exchange in the world, and people had a talk to me, and actually he is the current CEO of CoinBene, and actually he also used to work for OKCoin at that time, and I was luckily recruited to OKCoin and worked there for almost 1 year, and I improved some product design, and then I left that company, and now I'm working to build a new exchange, and I hope I can provide you a better performance, and also list some good coins for your guys to buy. Uh, Actually, when I was working uh, in the cryptocurrency industry, and some of changes, I mean, some of my way of thinking are really changed. I mean, I I know what is UTXO, what is proof of work and proof of state, and I think there are many designs of Bitcoin is kind of sophisticated and really talented architecture, like the unspent output, transaction output, and the proof of work, and this and how to say that, distributed and decentralized the ledger book. I mean,
Right, the ledger.
yeah.
Very cool.
And
Very cool.
and from then I became a fan of blockchain and Bitcoin.
I'm sorry. Did you say finance?
A fan.
Oh, fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, who isn't? I mean, come on. So, actually, I'm gonna put the mic over on Ricky real quick and give him a chance to talk. So, Ricky, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you first found out about crypto.
Yeah, sure. So my background is in software development, but professionally I work in software security. So I work with a lot of developers to make sure that applications are securely deployed. And honestly, I first heard about crypto in undergrad, but I never got into cryptocurrency during undergrad because that was kind of the wild, wild west sort of a frontier back then, back in like 2009, 2010.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And back then, I was also warned by a few friends, like, hey, if you join this, you might be put on a watch list. So I always knew about it, but I never really wanted to dabble into it. But now that it's more mainstream, I feel a lot more safe about it.
Very cool. And hey, that's coming from a security guy, so you know you gotta be safe. So actually, that could segue right into this. So hey, Jay, tell us what kind of policies you guys have to make sure our users are safe when they're using your exchange.
Yeah, actually, we have some policies just same as the other exchanges. Like when we are collecting when we are receiving your deposits, we transfer the Bitcoins or Ether to our cold wallet, and we just keep some of the maybe 10% or 20% in our hot wallet to make sure your coins are safe and never be stolen. I mean, and also we have the encrypted logistic of your password and your PIN in our server. Mm-hmm. And we have and the third, we have some firewall to filter some unnecessary or bad visitors. I mean, to block them away from our server.
Cool, and not to mention two-factor authentication, right?
Yeah. Actually, we are now working on the two-factor verification when you are logging to your account, and hopefully, maybe we will be okay to in 1 week.
Very cool.
Oh, nice.
This week.
Awesome. So prior to that, the two-factor authentication was just when you withdrew the money.
Yeah. Currently, when you are withdrawing your money, I mean cryptocurrency, you need to input your 2FA code, and now we accept Google Auth, and later we'll accept your message. I mean cell phone to accept the SMS code.
Ah, very nice.
Very nice. So that's kind of segues into a second question. You know, within any sort of software product, you want to have security, but you also want to have a lot of reliability, especially since scalability has been a large issue that a lot of exchanges have been facing. For example, I believe, CJ, you were saying that it was Binance recently wasn't allowing people to register, I believe, because they were having scalability issues.
That's correct.
And so I just wanted to segue that into is there anything specific that you guys are doing in order to make sure that your exchange is highly available in the case that you guys get lots of users very quickly?
Yeah, that's a good question. And actually, I hope one day we can have as many users as Binance too. And that would be a huge honor for us to be the biggest exchange. Actually, it just depends on how we design our database, and I think Binance just shut down their registration. Maybe for some days, maybe they need to do some upgrade to their system, and we cannot expect all. Anything will be happening in the future, but what we do is just to react as fast as I can to check our system and to maintain our system to make sure we can do the right thing at the in the shortest time to make
Right.
sure others can still use our website or maybe our app in the future to provide you a better trade condition and environment.
Sure. And I have one more question to follow up with that. And if it's something that you're not allowed to answer, no problem. You don't need to answer it.
Top secret.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But just
let me know.
sure. Just out of curiosity, is your infrastructure hosted on like the cloud? For example, I know that Alibaba has a very large cloud service similar to Amazon. And are you guys hosting it on the cloud for scalability, or do you guys have your own data center?
Yeah, actually, we bought a cloud server in Southeast Asia.
Oh, cool.
Very cool. So thank you guys for that awesome talk on security. I kind of want to go back and just look at so Jay, you told me that CoinMarketCap isn't the only CoinMarketCap per se out there. What other exchanges out there? Not exchanges, but what other similar website? I know you gave me one. What was it called?
You don't mean the other coin app in Chinese users?
Right.
Actually, there's another CoinMarketCap
style. Yeah.
named Block.cc.
Block.cc, right. All right, so while he's checking that out, Block.cc is basically the Chinese version of CoinMarketCap. So he's gonna actually pull that up in a second, take a look there. But it's definitely worth taking a look. You can definitely Google Translate the site. It has totally different coins on there, totally different markets, and it looks pretty darn close to CoinMarketCap. So Jay, you want to tell us a little about it?
Yeah, of course. And actually, the reason why Chinese guys don't like CoinMarketCap is that the translation of CoinMarketCap is not as good as we want. So in China, many people or users like to use our own kind of CoinMarketCap. And we have Block.cc and another one, Feixiaohao.com. And I think the Feixiaohao.com is more popular today now. A little bit better than Block.cc. But the reason I told Block.cc is easy to read in English.
Well, I appreciate that. My English and Chinese translation is not very good.
And the translation is also, translation in English is also better by Block.cc. So I just told you that website. And actually, if you look at our style, and maybe we provided you some more information in one page and a little bit crowded, but that's because maybe because of the different users like different kind of apps. And company are also listed in these two CoinMarketCaps in China. And yeah, it is. You can find me either in CoinMarketCap or the CoinMarketCap in China now.
Cool. So yeah, so we'll actually post links in the description on that. I'll make sure I get that from Jay before I post this. So real quick, Jay, why don't you talk about a little bit about the future of CoinBene, CoinBene. Why don't you tell us why it's called CoinBene in the first place?
Actually, CoinBene is made of coin and Benny. And Benny comes from word benefits. So, cause we believe the coin, I mean, the cryptocurrencies are good, and we really think the blockchain will be will get more implement in the future.
All right. And also tell us a little bit about the future of CoinBene and what kind of coins you plan to add and things like that. Or actually, what coins that you currently have on there.
Okay. Actually, basically, I'll talk about two parts: features and coins. Regarding the features, we're now developing our app in both Android and iOS, and people may use their app to try coins by CoinBene by the middle of this month now. Later, and also the API is testing now, and the API documents will be released, and you can, if you can code, and you can just write down your own algo trade machine to let your computer replace your hands to make orders with our API.
Oh, very cool.
And
So I'm sorry to cut you off. So I just wanted to touch on that. So you said that you're going to incorporate some type of API where you can actually write code and it could trade for you. Is that what you were saying?
Actually, yeah. Actually, we have now testing our API now. The documents is still we are still improve it, and we didn't release our documents to the website. And if the API is ready, and all users all over the world can use their algo trade machine to connect to our API to let their computer to place orders or cancel orders, or maybe also withdraw the currencies to control their accounts via the API.
Wow.
Oh, nice. So essentially, the API will allow users to automate, would be a good word, I guess, and a lot of their trading.
Yeah. That'd be more efficient for the how do you say, for the quantity traders, is it?
Ah. So the traders that like to set it up and forget it, you know?
Yeah. And about the coins, actually we do have Bitcoin Ether and Bitcoin Cash, like Coin, Ripple, and these kind of must-have coins.
Right.
And have some, we have listed some really, I mean, new ICO coins like Zebra. Zebra is a new coin, first listed in CoinBene all over the world, and it is come from UK, running by a UK company, and which has already got a telecom license in their country, and they are going to make a decentralized voice call system.
Wow.
Just like a Skype in blockchain. Is that?
Yeah. So like a voice over IP. Hey Ricky, you wanna add something to that?
No, that actually was pretty well explained. I just want to ask you, Jay, have you ever heard of the acronym DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, by any chance?
DAPP?
DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. It's just another word for what you were saying. It's just a decentralized system that governs itself.
Yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah, so essentially, go ahead.
DAO, or Decentralized Autonomous Organizations, is still kind of utopia for us, but we can really decentralize the app as like I mean with a new ecosystem, like for instance, someone need to buy the service and someone can provide service, and someone, but they may not trust each other, and there will not be a very trusted organization for the people. So that's why we need blockchain to solve this kind of problem. And we just build an ecosystem and invite people to join us, just like Bitcoin, and someone needs to transfer access to another one, and someone can help this to record this transaction to the blockchain.
So I just want to get really,
I mean,
I guess, slightly theoretical or possibly even philosophical here. Um, so I know we're talking about the DAO, the DAO, and that seems to be the next big, I guess. It's not just something that's being done in crypto, like you said, right? That's something that we're trying to implement in voice chat as well. Do you think that this is kind of like the next open source revolution? Because the idea of open source really revolutionized the software industry by making information available and open for everyone. And it seems that the blockchain technology seems to be doing that, taking that concept even further into different kinds of fields. Would you agree with that statement?
regarding open source, actually, I think I really appreciate the people who open their source and devoted and I mean devoted his ideas to all the world,
Mhm.
like GitHub.
Right.
Yes.
And currently we didn't open our source to the world.
No, yeah, I totally understand that. And I'm not saying that you guys need to open source your app, but what I'm asking is, do you think the idea of blockchain is just as powerful as the idea of open source was, and its impact on the world will be as big?
Yeah, I really believe blockchain is the future of the world. I mean, to I mean, today's blockchain maybe is can equals to 20 years or 30 years ago's internet.
Okay, cool.
Blockchain is not only a new technology, but it is a new way of the working relationship.
Wow,
Very true.
that's really well said. I just wanna add real quick, Jay. Like you were saying, so is this kind of like do you really think that banks, like, I mean, you're an exchange, right? So what's your opinion on banks? Where do you see them in the next, let's just say, 10 to 15 years?
Actually, I think the banks may be still there, but they may change themselves. I mean, maybe we still have the BOA or maybe Chase Bank. And I mean, maybe the brand is still there, but they may change their way of working in the future. I mean, maybe we don't need their, I mean, their centralized server, but they may cooperate to each other to build a new ecosystem. Like maybe they will share the data to
Okay.
each other, and maybe the transfer cost will be reduced a lot in the future, and the efficiency may be improved by the blockchain, and we don't need to pay a lot of money when we are transfer money from one country to another.
Mm.
If we use this, we use blockchain. I mean, for instance, if you transfer money from the United States to another country in Africa or maybe in Asia, it may cost maybe several hundred of US dollars. If you use Bitcoin or maybe either, maybe just several bucks.
That's insane. Yeah, the technology has really grown, and I gotta say these exchanges are popping up left and right. Um, so with that being said, how do you guys plan on diversifying yourself from the other exchanges? I'm not exactly sure if we got into that. That's one question. Second question is, what do you think? Um, what do you think about those exchanges with their own coins? Do you find that as a smart tactic? Do you find that a little shady? Since they're in control of that coin. What do you think of that?
Excuse me. So the first question is, how do we diversify our coin money to other exchanges?
Yes, that's the first question.
Okay. The first question is that actually I think the real things attract users to trade in our exchange is the coins is first. itself. I mean, what we do is to list the good coins as quick as possible, and to help the coins to realize its value.
So how do you guys? That's another actually question. Thank you for that. But how do you guys determine if it's a good coin and not to say the bad word, but a shit coin, and how do you verify that, and how do you actually add the coin if you can disclose any of that to the actual exchange? How does that work?
Actually, there are some coins that are contact with us, with me, and with my coworker as well. And actually, the first thing and the most important thing is that a good coin must have their own developers. I
Of
mean,
course, no
and
AI needed, right? I'm just kidding.
and when we were reading the white paper, I mean, uh, for me, I think they really need blockchain technology. That's the importance. And today, I see a lot of really interesting things is that since blockchain is very popular now, and a lot of people who wanna just use blockchain to help them fund themselves, or maybe just uh, to catch other people's assets with the blockchain is words. So that may not be the good coins.
Right, right.
So
So you don't go for the whole flashy like sign up now for this airdrop kind of deal where there's not really any real value or project behind it. Is that what you're saying?
actually, excuse me. Actually, I think airdrop is okay, but it depends on what kind of coin is going to be airdropped. I mean, today when I was reading the news, I can see some of the people from other industry and who may not use blockchain this technology, but who just wanted to go to the front page of the newspaper, or maybe with the news website, and they just add blockchain to the product. But actually, I don't think blockchain is necessary for their product.
I see
Right.
what you mean.
So I think what he's saying is essentially a lot of companies are adding blockchain to their marketing as a buzzword, essentially.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But
see a lot of
blockchain
that.
way is instead of the product, or maybe the product is just they don't need to blockchain at the moment in their product.
Right. I actually I don't know the name of the company, but there's been several accounts of companies actually just giving out like what you said in a small detail saying somewhere along the lines that we're going to look into getting into blockchain and their product is, selling soda or something and it's not really relevant to actually using the blockchain and then you see their market value just skyrocket whether it's the normal stock market here in the United States or overseas and how do you feel about that? Like, what do you like? Do you think those companies are gonna, face the wrath of, let's just say, the open sourced world for that?
Could you repeat it?
Oh, I was just saying, like, what do you think about those companies that are making those false claims? I mean, they're probably gonna get the quick dollar and then just pew and then just plummet, right? What do you think?
Well, actually, I think maybe since blockchain is developed rapidly, I mean, or the technology is developing rapidly, but the bubble is coming also. So
Mm,
companies are really making the blockchain development, but some companies just use this word to enhance their market value. And actually, I'm still young, but I heard of that many years ago. There's another bubble called the internet bubble, and the market value of some company grow maybe 10 times or 100 times uh, compared to 1 year before, and and their market value also can be down maybe for 1/10 or maybe 1% as the compared to the top of the current market cap now.
Yeah, I think that was called the .com bubble in the United States
Yeah.
during the early 2000s.
Yeah,
And
that was a big deal. Go ahead.
I guess maybe there's another bubble will happen in maybe some years. I mean, since the blockchain is too popular now, and some companies will use blockchain to market themselves and to also to management their market value. But the important thing is well, first thing is whether they can develop blockchain technology, and the second thing is whether they really need blockchain to improve their business.
Right. So you're saying
I
basically
think
like if they don't actually need the blockchain, um, how about
no.
this? What are some of the companies or organizations that you've seen that actually need the blockchain? What would you say that you're following yourself?
Mm, as far as I know, the blockchain is used to solve some ecosystem like people don't quite trust each other,
Hmm.
mm, and there is no specific uh, trusted organizations to provide this kind of services in our world, and it's good to use blockchain. And let me think. Uh, yeah, for instance, for me, I really need a decentralized VPN. You know,
Ah, see, I think he's talking about
yeah,
some
yeah.
stratum there.
Because there is there can be an organization or a company can be a centralized VPN provider.
Hmm.
In I mean, when we are using VPN, we need to protect our privacy. I mean, we need to uh, go through some website that some country banned.
Right, right.
So, but I don't think there will be a big country or there will be a very big organization can do this kind of work. So this kind of work must be a decentralized thing.
Okay, cool. So how
Mhm.
about this? How about we talk about the other anonymous team members of CoinBene, let's just say, and tell us like how you guys all got together to work on this project.
How we guys work on our project. Okay, actually we have 30 people now, and just in 2 months development, and
Wow.
we're still recruiting, and especially in customer support. And since our business grows rapidly, and you know, why I am always in our Telegram channel to answer questions,
I
because
could tell.
was also up to recruiting our online support guys or coworkers now, and we have let me think. We have about 15 developers in our team now,
Hmm?
and uh, 2 web developers and 3 app developers, and the others are Java developers, and we hope we can make more than 50. Oh, sorry, 100 people's team by the end of this year, and
Wow.
yeah, I'm not kidding.
Hey, I don't take your jokes lightly. I gotta say you are very knowledgeable. But
Uh,
I definitely want to definitely wrap this up in a bit. You know, it's been almost an hour. I think we got a lot of footage here, but Ricky, you got any closing statements you want to ask him?
Um, Not necessarily in closing statements. I think the point you made about the bubble was a very good one. That's something that a lot of people had quite often asked me about. They're always like, a lot of my friends are like, hey, when do you think this bubble is going to happen? And I think what you said about look out for companies that don't need the blockchain and that are just using it as a gimmick, as kind of a heads up for when the bubble might start appearing, when you start seeing more and more coins or blockchain technologies being abused rather than properly used.
Very
What do I think about bubble?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, definitely.
Actually, I think there's some bubbles in the coins. The coins value now. Actually, I still can remember the things what the things happening in China last year. I mean, if you just make a white paper, I mean, just one page, and the title is white paper, and with your Bitcoin address, then someone will just send the coins to your address. That's not a joke. I think maybe that's
Wow.
what thing really. And there are also a lot of fraud there. For example, someone funded a lot of money and ran away, and someone just send their own, their own Bitcoin address to the groups, and the other people will think, oh, I just transfer money, but really someone transferred the Bitcoin to wrong addresses. I mean, didn't transfer addresses the Bitcoin or the address of the projects or websites, but from other people's. And I think ICO. Maybe we need another way to. Could you give me some seconds to think about it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no problem.
I think what Jay's trying to say here is that I think there has to be some type of, maybe even on the blockchain, but hear me out. Maybe there has to be some type of security feature to verify these ICOs, because you get all these people that don't understand crypto as a whole, but they just see a crud ton of money and a really cheap coin, and they think, oh, I gotta just throw all my money into that. Am I on the same page as you, Jay?
Yeah. For me, actually, I'm not a technical expert, so the reason I invest or not is just to inquire to some people who really know them, and also I will pay attention to the project, what they're going to do, and did they get any fund of very
Reputable?
famous IP in blockchain.
Right. That's pretty solid.
The background of their team also. I mean, if they have some experiences in big company and they are also well educated, I will trust them. And if I never heard of them, or maybe they just use another. I mean, today I can see some ICO projects. They have already worked for years, but unfortunately, I don't think they make money. They just use blockchain or ICO to fund themselves. If that kind of ICO, I will never invest. I will never buy them. And also, I think the ICO platform, I mean the website, also have the responsibility to verify the projects. I mean, we have maybe several ICO websites. I mean, we used to have ICO.info, and I don't know what you're using now, since it's closed now. And
so they closed up shop apparently, like many other ICO has.
Yeah, some of the ICO websites has closed now since the controller are Chinese, and the government banned this kind of business in China. But we can still find a lot of ICO website now, and I think the website, they have the obligation to verify what kind of project to list or not.
So if a user logs into your site and they buy a coin that you just put on the site, it's a brand new coin, and then they put their money in it, it's in the site, all of a sudden that coin then just disappears completely, or just becomes worthless? Like, is there any form of refund or some type of support for that, or is it just gone?
Well, currently we didn't see any team disappeared. I mean,
Well, that's good.
and it's
We don't want
lucky
that.
mm, and I don't know why the coins in CoinBene and the price of coins of sorry, the coins price of CoinBene is always growing. Maybe the market is good these days now. And if it really happens, and I actually will think about it, how to reduce the loss of our users. I mean, actually, maybe we will ask the team, I mean, the coins team to deposit some money to one particular account and as a deposit. And if they disappeared or they provided any incorrect information to us, and we just use that kind of money to help the users to recover their loss or something.
So
But
correct. I'm sorry.
was thinking about.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did you just say that you were gonna ask the team members to pull up their own money to support those
No.
that? Oh,
That's a particular amount of money of coins. But we just think about it. We have not to make sure what to regarding these kind of things. I mean, what we can do is just to talk to them and to get as much as information as we can from theirs, and to make sure the coins is okay, and they will not run away.
right.
Not be just like this. And if it really happens, I think we need some time to think about it.
Right. So I assume, like, let's just say there's a hack. I would assume that you would probably close all ins and outs and make sure the website's locked down.
What website? Ours or theirs?
Oh, your website.
Make sure our website's still okay.
Yeah, like, so recently we see these exchanges getting hacked, especially we just saw, I think it was a Japanese exchange or something like that, where they got hacked. And what kind of procedure do you guys have if let's just say you notice maybe a hack going on?
Okay, I think there are two important keys for us to prevent to be hacked. Well, the first key is we store most of our coins or your coins in the cold wallet. That means the private key of Bitcoin and Ether, and as well as other coins may never be online. So
okay, so they're offline.
The right way to protect the coins. And the second key is that we have the authorities of our developers. And if you want to upload your code, if you want to visit some particular fields, you need to get the right authority, as well as our office Wi-Fi and some other things. I mean,
internal Wi-Fi, is that what you mean? Internal network?
I mean, our database and our product environment also need a particular authority, or how do you say that, to get in touch to the very secret things.
Right. Some type of access there. So yeah, I think that's right up Ricky's alley, actually, as far as access and security goes. What do you think of that, Ricky? Keeping the wallets offline, which is awesome, and
Right.
And then having some type of internal connection that needs to be required in order to upload any code.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. That's a very standard practice because at the end of the day, security is really a cat and mouse game, and what you really want to do is that a hacker can get in anywhere theoretically, but you want to make it as inconvenient as possible. So keeping it offline, keeping a stopgap where you have to have a certain machine that can only access another machine, what we call a jump server in the industry, is kind of like building a moat and then a bridge and then another moat and then a bridge physically. So it's just really would be a pain in the ass for a hacker to go through all this trouble, even if they were to get into their systems.
That was solid. Jay, does that sound pretty accurate?
Thank you, Ricky.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. Jay, I just gotta say thank you so much for coming on to the show, and I hope we can get you on here soon. Maybe we could have some developers or other co-founders on the exchange. What do you think?
Yeah, of course. I will talk to them if they want to attend your interview.
Cool. And Ricky, thank you again, man. You got a lot of knowledge on there too.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me. I learned a lot from this actually.
And me too. Honestly, I would say that this kind of thing is going to be as much as possible. I want to try to interview many different people, many different backgrounds. So this is True Crypto. I'm CJ. That's Jay. That's Ricky. Take care, guys. So.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, cool.